Bon Vivre by Naughton and Wilson, because life is meant to be enjoyed.
Let's see how we go. Right. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Something different today. So today I'm going to do my first video responding to trolls or negative comments. This is going to be interesting. Of course, it's a very well-known phenomenon on YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel, you're going to get people making negative comments. And a message from me to all those people out there spreading negativity and hatred. Just remember that I am the alpha male in the room. I'm the one making videos, and you are the ones who merely comment on what I throw out there. And as the Bible said, one should not cast pearls before swine. But sadly, sometimes that does happen. Remember, you are merely flies around the tail of the majestic lion that is Mr. Smelly. Dung beetles feeding on the turds, which are my videos. Okay guys, let's get into it. So all I've done today, I've got some screenshots of negative, critical type comments that have been made on my videos or about me in other places online. Trolls or people who make negative comments. I find it kind of interesting. I actually, I completely accept that if you put yourself on YouTube, you're going to get troll comments or negative. I mean, some of these comments are just kind of actually trying to be helpful, normal people kind of, but people kind of, some of these people think they sort of know you and they're calling you mate and stuff. You've never spoken to them, and it's a really interesting phenomenon. In other cases, they are just sort of hostile and rather more nasty comments. And I think, if you put yourself on YouTube, it's part and parcel of the territory. I'm kind of lucky, maybe. I don't think I've had anything too bad. Touch wood, probably shouldn't say it. So I've never found one that really upset me. I'm pretty, I'm thick-skinned, so I don't mind personal comments and stuff. But, I don't condone anyone who's doing really bad online bullying, fat shaming or making really misogynist comments, this kind of thing. However, I do sometimes enjoy the comedy in trolling, and even when you're really lucky, there's occasionally a really good, poignant observation or even a witty observation. And one of the ones I'm going to read out, an email or two actually, is from someone who has a genuine talent for creative writing. So let's have a look at what people say about me, the phenomenon that is Mr. Smelly online. I'm just going to pull them up in the random order that I've got them on my laptop here. Okay, this one was on a YouTube video in the last month or two. I'm not going to say the name of the person. I think he'd actually ordered Bon Vivre, my fragrance. So I think he genuinely meant to be helpful here. But so no offense to you, and I wasn't really upset by what he said. But here's what he said. It was a video. I think I was doing one of my interviews with somebody. Here we go. Time to shave your head, Dan. Perhaps consider SMP procedure, which I have had done and highly recommend it, mate. Sean Ryder just had it done too. That's the singer from Happy Mondays, and I'll put a picture of him on the screen now, having had it done. So this is what this guy thinks I should be aiming for. It's SMP is like when I think they tattoo your head, basically, where you've gone bald, and so it looks like you've got hair. Many high-profile footballers as well. Sorry if I sound insensitive, mate, but no easy way around it. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean well. Your hair's looking a little crusty on video. Don't worry, you'll suit a shaved head. Then he goes on, nice collaboration with the legend Chris from Scentland. Love how he still digs denim. I got bottles of the stuff, blah, blah, blah. I put my order in for Bon Vivre. Thank you, I really appreciate it. So, yeah, that's the example of probably, a helpful comment, but yeah, very interesting that he seeks to talk about my hair. So I've had a few comments about that. Oh, my answer was thanks for the expert advice, Paul, which could be seen as a passive-aggressive answer. But, that's how I normally answer some of these type of comments. So on the hair thing, like, yeah, okay, clearly I have a receding hairline, rapidly receding indeed, and this is often the thing that people will focus on in the videos. But trolls, or in this case, people with a criticism, they will find the one thing that, or there may be more than one, but things which are the obvious flaw in that person. If someone has a big nose, there'll be comments on it. If somebody is overweight, they'll be getting comments on it. The way people talk about women is even worse. If there's an imperfection in their teeth, they have wonky teeth, they'll pick on that. So hard to find a flaw in me, I know, but if you had to zero in on anything that's not quite perfect, yes, indeed, I'm going bald. Now, there's different ways you can deal with that. He says, people have said, look, you need to stop deluding yourself or trying to hide it. Just shave your head. Now, I don't mind that I'm going bald. It's normal. I'm definitely not going to have any kind of a tattoo on my head. No, never. And I'm not going to have hair plugs or stuff, because it's part of the natural process of life going bald. Okay, it's fine. It's it doesn't look as good as having a full head of hair. You look older, but I'm okay with it. So I'm not trying to cut. It's not like I have a wispy Bobby Charlton comb over. But I have my hair pretty short. It's pretty short. But I keep some on the top there, a little bit longer than around the sides, because I find I've actually got quite a large head, and it tends to look a bit, I find the skinhead look, not knocking anyone who's got a shaved head, but for me, I feel it looks a little bit aggressive. In England, we associate that maybe with sometimes, a thug or a gangster might have a shaved head. It's an aggressive look for a lot of people, and I don't want to quite go that far. So thanks for the advice, but I hope I've explained my haircut.
Don't forget, if you'd like to join the Smelly Army Private Members Club over on Patreon, there's a link in the description to do that. It costs just $2 a month, and you get an extra video from me every week, plus you get to watch everything I've already uploaded in there. We're building a really nice community, lots of interaction, and I'd love to see you in there.
Okay, here's another one, and this is brilliant. We're going to come back to this one. This person, Dr. Bulovich. This guy is someone all of you could learn from. If you are a troll or you like making snide comments on the internet, you are almost certainly nowhere near the level of the creativity and borderline genius of this guy. So he doesn't like me reading out his comments online, and he's probably he's threatened me with many things. Some of the things he says in emails I couldn't put on YouTube. But here he says he had invited me by email to a barbecue at his house in Milton Keynes. So this is his comment. Dr. Bulovich. Dan accepted an invitation to our barbecue this weekend, but he let us down. What a letdown that was, Dan. I even got in your favourite fish, smoked eel, but another no-show. I hope somebody lets you down. Our friend Brent's Wodges, he's told me about him, was so upset he had a micro tear in his eyes. So yeah, more on Dr. Bulovich later. Great comment. Here we go. Okay. On interesting subject now, the fragrance jerks. I think it's a group on Reddit, and I think it used to be called Fragrance Circle Jerk. I don't know if anyone can tell me if it evolved from that or whatever. Okay, so it's a group on Reddit which is devoted to making fun of people who make YouTube fragrance videos. So when I talk about being low down the food chain, yeah, these guys are fairly low down the food. They're a group on Reddit who make their purpose of their group is to make fun of people who make YouTube videos about fragrances. Okay, so I mean, guys, you've taken the trouble to go online. I would say, don't waste your time. Why are you wasting your time in this group? The girl of your dreams could be out there waiting for you in a private chat room on Chatterbait at this very moment. But anyway, to be honest, some of the things they say are fair comment. I mean, there is a lot to take the mickey out of in YouTube. Jeremy Fragrance is on there a lot, and there are a lot of stupid thumbnails with who are going like that. Yeah, I get it. They have a point sometimes. Sometimes there are things which are a bit out of order. They're picking on people who are a bit chubby, saying personal things about the way people look. Don't know, but we're gonna get into some of them in a minute. But yeah, by the way though, guys, you guys in the fragrance jerks, nearly all of you. You have like an avatar that's like a little alien head and some bizarre word as your name, like doesn't tell us who you are. Yeah, faux tag, FAUXXTAG. So you're completely anonymous. I double dare any of you to post a picture of yourself in the fragrance jerk group. Post a picture of yourself and mark yourself physically out of 10. Are you a 10 out of 10, 6 out of 10? Because a lot of you love making personal comments about people's appearance. Guys, comment down below. How many of the people in this group do you think are reasonably attractive, well-presented people who keep in good shape? Or how many of them are a bit fat, not well-presented, bald, ugly? I wonder if these guys are really good-looking. Okay, anyway, here we go. So one of them says, Smelly's forehead looks like an elephant's knee. And then someone else says, his name is ATH. I can't read that. That's not a forehead, that's a 5 head. Okay, so I also, apart from having not much hair as we get up to this part of my head. This bit, which would be visible anyway, it is very wrinkly. I don't know why. I guess the more expressive you are over the years with your eyes, you get these furrows. I have a furrowed brow. So I accept that. You know, there's nothing I can do. Well, some people, you can get Botox and stuff, but you know, there's nothing worse than somebody whose face goes like that. So yes, fair comment, I do have a furrowed brow or wrinkles. Someone else says, dude's hair is doing a parting of the Red Sea. So yes, in other words, I'm losing my hair. Well spotted. All right, next up. Yeah, they were also making bad comments about Monica Chiok, who I did an interview with because I grabbed a screenshot of her, and I guess her expression, out of the context of where I'd sort of taken her out of the background, it looks a bit stunned in the mirror kind of thing. But you know, one of the most attractive people you'll ever meet, and these people are trying to take the mickey out of the way she looks. Let's see how they would compare in an A/B test alongside her. Okay, moving on then. This is brilliant. This one cracked me up. So I did a video. Sometimes I do POV, so I film on the table, and you know, I have like maybe a champagne bottle and watches in the background and some art books. So somebody said this, so I'm just filming the fragrance with a sort of background with some trinkets and things. Dan, I don't mean to be rude, but the cluttered and, if I may say so, pretentious, strategically placed background is doing nothing for me or your vids. It smacks of the urban gentry's approach to watch reviews, and you doing it feels a little cliched. Anyway, I haven't tried this particular rosé, but I have yet to find a single one of them that warrants the price. They all feel like homages in gauche packaging to me, but I will get a sample and give it a go, as I do trust your nose for the most part. Okay, so that's not really an out-and-out troll comment. It's a kind of negative comment, and but it's a bit. It does nothing for me. The way I've presented. Okay, sorry. I didn't realise my purpose was to make sure I do things for you. But yeah, okay. He doesn't like my backgrounds because I guess it is pretentious. Actually, the essence of YouTube is pretentiousness. In a way, we create a pretend world. You know, I'm sat here on the screen now. You can't see the underpants on my radiator. I can create a little fantasy that looks like my life's quite neat. And of course, yeah, I do that with the videos. I put some watches. I've got some old watches and things that are my favorite things. But it's presenting an image of my lifestyle that I think looks like something that would be desirable. The Urban Gentry are really actually very good watch channel who does similar things. He has a lot of like old books and stuff in the background and likes art and stuff. So yeah, YouTube is pretentious. It's make believe, although you know, based somewhat on my real life and reality. Moving on then. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so this was to my brand Naughton and Wilson. We got this email. I think it might be Vlad Bulovic in another name. This is superb. So he's offering us an opportunity with our brand here from Hiroshi Mikitani. Hello, I wish to invite you onto my journey. This will be where I am making you multi-millionaires. This much is true. I will take you brand and product into Japan, and your feet will not touch the ground. We will start to get this product made in the Far East so we can move the stock easy. You will need to sign the contract within 5 days, as I am seeking other brands to make this a big offer. Okay, let's calm down. Let's keep our toes on the floor here. I cannot promise success overnight. I didn't say this, did I? I'm forecasting sales of 3,000 within the first 3 months, with a year total of 15,000. Are you having the stiff one now? Yes, I thought as much. I want the Zoom meeting to get this idea to the next stage. I'm the hot dog, you are the roll, customer is the onions, the ketchup is the marketing. Let us make this dream a reality. I'm with you, a friend and a colleague. Call me to arrange this meeting, Hiroshi. Now that is good. That is quality, good creative writing, and a 10 out of 10 for that. I love the ending. I am with you, a friend and a colleague. He's never spoken to me or anyone at our brand ever, but already he's a friend and a colleague. Well, certainly a friend. Unlikely to become a colleague, I feel. Here's the old fragrance jerks again. And they picked on my video where I did the intro where I sang Agadoo. Was it Agadoo? No, Let's Do the Conga by Black Lace. And I wore a Hawaiian shirt. So let's see what they say. Mr. Smelly finally proves that fragrances won't get you laid. right? Or have I don't know how I've proved that either way, have I? But okay, I do agree that they won't. But neither will a vintage grandpa Rolex, stupid shirt, or lack of gym membership. Don't show this to your kids. Okay, fair title. Okay, so a vintage grandpa Rolex. It wasn't a Rolex, but yeah, I do wear old-fashioned kind of watches. So granddad watches maybe to you youngsters. Stupid shirt. Well, yes, I deliberately kind of wore a Hawaiian shirt. So yeah, kind of a stupid. All Hawaiian shirts are tending towards stupid, unless you're Tom Selleck in Magnum. Lack of gym membership. Now, okay, I mean, we'll never know if the person who said this is in good shape. I guess he can only be. I mean, the only thing. I'm not saying I look great there, but you know, at the moment, I'm not overweight or anything. I'm definitely not overweight, right, at the moment. So he must just think my arms are not bulky, not big enough. I haven't got enough guns for him. So sorry about that. I'll take that one on the chin. Okay, what else did anyone comment on that? The very definition of an embarrassing dad, because I did a karaoke version of Agadoo. So, well, yeah, obviously, I mean, yes, I'm in on that joke, so I agree with you about that. Yeah, it was a cringe and embarrassing intro. Someone, thank you to you, said you can say what you want. I think this humour is hilarious. I don't care for his reviews because I'm not 55. Oh, thanks. But his dry humour cracked me up several times in the past. So thank you, whoever said that. Next up, this is the highlight really for the whole video, to be quite frank. It's Dr. Bulovich, probably one of his best emails ever. Subtext to this: a few months ago, Dr. Bulovich was hit, according to his email, by an Argos truck. That's the online delivery place where you buy stuff in the UK. And he lost a leg in the accident, he said, which is not funny, and, you know, deepest sympathies to anyone who has one leg in reality. And he's been looked after now by a carer since he got back from hospital, apparently called Irwin Species. He's also had some problems being terrorised by a gang in Milton Keynes, a gang of youthful thugs known as the Meat on the Bones gang. So this is what he said: I feel very vulnerable. Last night about 7, Irwin went to Tesco to pick up a load of fresh fish for the weekend. After a while, I heard commotion outside. I looked out the curtains and the wheelie bin was on fire and someone had trod all over my flower bed and kicked the heads off the daffodils. When I opened the door and hopped out on my crutches, youths were pointing at me, laughing. Horrible pigs. They shouted some awful things. Bin's on fire, cripple. How are your flowers, Spasmo? I burst out laughing, then they laughed even more. That should have said I burst out crying. Sorry, Vlad. Then one who had a Jesus cross tattooed on his forehead said, the bin fire is the least of your worries, son. Soon I'm going to cut off your arm with a meat cleaver, you of a... He said, I cried more, then they all just laughed. Then the worst thing happened. One shouted, what's on your stick, governor? My crutch was covered in One of them said, I just took a dump on your doorstep, sport. You put your stick in it. At this point, Irwin came back. He got out the car and said, what's happening here? I said, it's the bloody Meat on the Bones gang again. Then Irwin said, I'm sorry, but this is all too much for me. I sniff risk. I didn't sign up for this. Then he got back in the car and went. Worst of all, taking all the fresh fish with him. I haven't heard a bean since. What a horrid day. Guys, if you are doing trolling online, learn from that guy. That's funny. That's good trolling. It's not even trolling, is it? He's not really said anything bad about me, but you know, that's the level I want from people writing strange things online, please. Next up, another one on my video, the Agadoo video. Somebody's thank you said this qualifies as G things. Now, those of you who think I'm a bit old and from an older generation, you're right. So I had no idea what that meant, but apparently it means gangster things. So he's saying I'm kind of gangster, like in a good way. That was good. He liked my dance, but was he being sarcastic? Okay. Someone also said, make the planet stronger. That was a segment of the song that I sang the lyric to, was the best bit. There was some raw emotion. The planet stronger. He meant it. Probably the longest he has been on screen without mentioning clones. Hardly fair, is it? I think 1 in 8 videos has a clone in it, probably. Maybe 1 in 10 is actually specifically all about clones, maybe. But okay, fair point. Well, not fair, but yeah. This was a quite interesting one. So I did a video introducing Bon Viveur. You can follow the link in the description to buy this amazing new fragrance from perfumer John Stephen at naughtonandwilson.com, and that ships to the UK and Canada and the USA. And I said this because Bon Viveur means having a good life, enjoying the fine things. So I called it the smell of success. You know, you got to try with the thumbnail to make people, oh right, oh what's that? Bon Viveur fragrance notes revealed a few months back, and I had a picture of myself with a bow tie, sort of like undone, in a kind of dishevelled, maybe you know, been out all night having a good time, Bon Viveur, and I held up the fragrance and a bottle of Bombay Sapphire gin, and I had a little bit of kind of designer stubble. So this is fair comment, really. The smell of success, a dishevelled gin drinker. He has a point there. Yeah, maybe it's not the most luxurious thing to kind of put out there, being with a beard and a bottle of gin in your hand. Someone else says it will smell 0% success. Thank you. Someone else says it's bad when the most successful person in your field is Jeremy Fragrance. IMAO, I'd quit. Thank you for the support, guys. But yeah, there's a legitimate point there. Somebody said I prefer Hendrix. That's a different type of gin. Someone else says Bombay is bottom tier piss. What does that say? Fair point. Okay, so yeah, I actually don't know anything about gin, but it just had an attractive bottle. So you may have a point there that if you're actually into gin, it's probably not even a luxurious one to get. So I've got to take that one. Actually, it was a fair point. So that, unfortunately, is the end of the troll comments for today. Let me know what you thought about that. Do you think trolls are a really dangerous, bad thing? Or as my mum always used to say when she heard about online bullying and, you know, poor people being driven to terrible things by bullies at their school online, she's all, just unplug the bloody computer, don't go on there. So yeah, you know, you have the option to read these things or not, or, you know, if you are feeling you can't help but see them, take it with a pinch of salt. You probably look and are a better person than many of the people who devote their time to such things. But as you can see, there are some fair comments. I don't mind a critical comment, and I don't want to label anyone who says anything critical as a troll. And some people who are out and out trolls occasionally can be funny, but it's a rare thing. All you trolls, try and up your game. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bon Viveur, le nouveau parfum pour homme par Naughton et Wilson. Parce que la vie est faite pour être appréciée.